If you are over 60 and you keep waking up at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, I need you to listen very carefully. Scientists have just discovered that poor sleep does not simply leave you tired the next day. It may be making your brain older than you actually are. And the most worrying part? Most people over 60 have no idea it is happening. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what the research found, and more importantly, what you can start doing about it tonight. Hello, and welcome back to Healthy Aging. I'm so glad you're here, because today's topic affects almost every single person watching this channel. Think about it. When was the last time you slept right through the night and woke up feeling genuinely refreshed? If you are struggling to remember, you are not alone. Sleep problems after 60 are incredibly common. Trouble falling asleep, waking several times in the night, waking far too early and never getting back to sleep, feeling drowsy in the afternoon, even after a full night in bed. For years, we were told this was just a normal part of getting older, something to accept, something to live with. But brand new research from one of the most respected medical institutions in the world suggests we should stop accepting it. Because what happens in your bed at night may be quietly shaping what happens inside your skull for years to come. So make yourself comfortable and let us go through this together, step by step, in plain, simple language. No confusing medical talk, just honest information you can actually use. Let me tell you about the study that made headlines around the world. Researchers at Karolinska Institutet in Sweden published a comprehensive brain imaging study in the journal eBiomedicine. The study included 2,500 middle-aged and older people from the UK Biobank who underwent magnetic resonance imaging of the brain. And using machine learning, the researchers estimated the biological age of the brain based on over 1,000 brain MRI phenotypes. Now, let me translate that into everyday language because this is fascinating. Your brain has two ages. The first is your calendar age, the number of candles on your birthday cake. The second is your biological brain age, which is how old your brain actually looks and functions on a detailed scan. These two numbers do not always match. Some people are 70 on paper but have a brain that looks 65. Others are 70 with a brain that looks 75. The researchers wanted to know one thing. Does the quality of your sleep change which group you end up in? And the answer was a very clear yes. The lead researcher explained that the gap between brain age and chronological age widened by about 6 months for every 1 point decrease in a healthy sleep score. And people with poor sleep had brains that appeared on average 1 year older than their actual age. Let that sink in for a moment. The people who slept poorly were walking around with brains that looked a full year older than they should. And here is the part I find genuinely hopeful. Since sleep is something you can change, the researchers said it may be possible to prevent accelerated brain aging and perhaps even cognitive decline through healthier sleep. In other words, this is not a life sentence. This is a warning light on the dashboard, and you still have time to act on it. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you something. Have you ever woken up at night and checked the clock, and it was almost exactly the same time as the night before? Maybe 3 o'clock, maybe 4. If that sounds like you, type the time you usually wake up in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I think you will be amazed how many people watching this now wake up at exactly the same hour as you do. You are not alone in this, and what comes next in this video is especially for you. Because we're about to look at what poor sleep actually means, and I promise you, it is not just about the number of hours. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think good sleep simply means 8 hours. But the Swedish researchers measured sleep in a much smarter way. They looked at 5 healthy sleep characteristics. Being an early chronotype, which simply means being more of a morning person, sleeping 7 to 8 hours daily, having no insomnia, no snoring, and no excessive daytime sleepiness. These 5 things were added together into a healthy sleep score, and people were grouped into healthy, intermediate, and poor sleep patterns. So I want you to do something honest right now. Give yourself a point for each one. Are you naturally more of a morning person? Do you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep? Do you fall asleep without a battle? Are you free of loud snoring? And do you get through the day without fighting to keep your eyes open? If you scored 4 or 5, wonderful. Your sleep pattern is in the healthy range. If you scored 1 or 0, please do not panic, but do keep watching, because this video was made for you. And notice something important here. Snoring is on that list. Most people over 60 treat snoring as a harmless joke, something their partner teases them about. But heavy snoring can be a sign that your breathing is being disturbed at night, and that your sleep is far less refreshing than you believe. Daytime sleepiness is on the list too. If you cannot get through the afternoon without nodding off in your armchair, your body is telling you that something about your night is not working. These are not small things. They are pieces of a bigger picture. And the picture matters, because the effects of poor sleep on the brain do not stop at looking older on a scan. A large Mayo Clinic study found that chronic insomnia, which means trouble sleeping at least 3 days a week for 3 months or more, could speed up brain aging. People with chronic insomnia were 40% more likely to develop dementia or mild cognitive issues than people without insomnia. And insomnia with reduced sleep was associated with lower cognition, comparable to being 4 years older. 4 years. That is the difference poor sleep can make to how your mind performs. And the scale of this problem is enormous. A study using data from the National Health and Aging Trends Study looked at American adults aged 65 and older and found that 28.7% reported having experienced trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, or both. That is more than 1 in 4 older adults. So if you're sitting there thinking this is just your problem, it is not. It is one of the most widespread and most ignored health issues of later life. So what is actually going on inside the body? Why would a bad night in bed leave a mark on the brain? The Swedish team looked at one possible explanation, and it involves something called inflammation. Now, do not let that word put you off. Inflammation is simply your body's internal alarm system. When you cut your finger, the redness and swelling you see is inflammation doing its job, protecting and repairing. That is healthy. But there is another kind. A low, quiet, simmering inflammation that runs through the whole body for months and years without you feeling a thing. Think of it like a tap left dripping in the night. One drip is nothing. But leave it dripping for 10 years and you have real damage. To understand how poor sleep can affect the brain, the researchers examined levels of low-grade inflammation in the body. They found that inflammation could explain just over 10% of the link between poor sleep and older brain age. And the researchers said their findings provide evidence that poor sleep may contribute to accelerated brain aging and point to inflammation as one of the underlying mechanisms. There is something else worth understanding too. While you sleep, your brain is not switched off. Far from it. Nighttime is when your brain does its housekeeping. It files away memories from the day, it processes emotions, and it clears away waste products that build up during your waking hours. And when sleep is cut short or broken into pieces, that housekeeping never gets finished properly. Imagine a cleaning crew that is sent home an hour into their shift, night after night, for years. The mess slowly builds. Now, I want to be completely honest with you, because that is what this channel is about. Scientists are still working out whether unhealthy sleep habits contribute to the development of dementia, or whether sleep problems are actually early symptoms of the disease itself. The honest answer is that it may be a bit of both. But here is the key point. The evidence increasingly suggests that sleep is not just a passenger in this story. It appears to be one of the drivers. And unlike your age or your family history, your sleep is something you have real power over. Still with me? Good, because this is where the video turns from problem to solution. Everything you have heard so far might sound worrying, but I did not make this video to frighten you. I made it because science also carries a message of genuine hope. If poor sleep can age the brain, then better sleep may help protect it. So if you have found this useful so far, tap the like button because it truly helps this channel reach more people over 60 who need to hear it. And now, let us get practical. Here are 7 simple, safe, natural changes you can start making tonight. No medicines, no gimmicks, just habits that work with your body instead of against it. Number 1. Anchor your morning, not your evening. Most people who sleep badly obsess over bedtime, but your body clock is actually set in the morning. Try to get up at the same time every single day, even at weekends, even after a terrible night. And within the first hour of waking, get some daylight on your face. Step into the garden with your tea. Sit by a bright window. Take a short walk. Morning light is the strongest signal your body clock receives, and it tells your brain exactly when to start feeling sleepy about 14 to 16 hours later. If your mornings are consistent, your nights will slowly follow. Number 2, rethink the afternoon nap. I'm not going to tell you never to nap, because a short rest can be perfectly fine. But there is a world of difference between a 20-minute doze before 2 in the afternoon and a 2-hour sleep at 5 o'clock. Long, late naps quietly steal from your nighttime sleep, like eating a large snack an hour before dinner. If you nap, keep it short, keep it early, and set an alarm so it does not run away from you. Number 3, watch the timing of caffeine and be honest with yourself about it. Caffeine stays in the body far longer than most people realize, and as we get older, our bodies often take even longer to clear it. That innocent cup of tea or coffee at 4 in the afternoon may still be circulating in your system at 10 at night, quietly pressing against your sleepiness. Try a simple experiment for 2 weeks, no caffeine after midday. Many people are astonished by the difference this one change makes. Number 4, create a wind-down hour. Your brain is not a light switch. It cannot go from the evening news, a heated phone call, or a bright tablet screen straight into deep sleep. It needs a runway. So in the last hour before bed, dim the lights around the house. Put the screens away, or at the very least, turn the brightness right down. Do something calm and pleasantly boring. Read a few pages of a book, listen to gentle music or the radio, do some light stretching. The activity matters less than the ritual. When you repeat the same calm routine every night, your brain learns that this sequence means sleep is coming, and it starts preparing before your head even touches the pillow. Number 5, keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Your body temperature needs to drop slightly for deep sleep to happen, and a warm, stuffy bedroom fights against that. Aim for a cool room, somewhere around 18 degrees Celsius, and use breathable bedding. Darkness matters just as much because even small amounts of light from street lamps or standby lights can disturb the depth of your sleep. Thick curtains or a simple eye mask can work wonders. And if noise is an issue, consider earplugs or a steady background sound like a quiet fan. Number 6, move your body during the day. This might be the most underrated sleep advice of all. Your body builds up a natural pressure to sleep through physical activity. If you spend the whole day sitting, the pressure never builds, and then you wonder why sleep will not come at night. You do not need a gym, a daily walk, gardening, gentle exercises at home, dancing in the kitchen if that is your style. The goal is simple: be pleasantly tired by evening. Just try to finish anything vigorous at least a few hours before bed so your body has time to settle. Number 7, stop fighting the clock at 3 in the morning. This one is for everyone who typed their waking time in the comments earlier. If you wake in the night and cannot get back to sleep within about 20 minutes, do not lie there battling and watching the minutes crawl by. That only teaches your brain that bed is a place of frustration. Instead, get up, keep the lights low, and do something quiet and calm in another room. Read something gentle, sit with a warm, caffeine-free drink, and then return to bed only when you feel sleepy again. And please, turn the clock face away from you. Checking the time at night is one of the worst habits for sleep, because every glance triggers a little jolt of stress, and stress is the enemy of sleep. Now, let me put all of this into perspective, because I think it matters. Researchers estimated that hundreds of thousands of dementia cases in the United States in a single year could have been prevented if insomnia had been eliminated among adults age 65 and older. Think about that. We spend so much time worrying about things we cannot control: our genes, our age, our past. And yet here is something that happens every single night in our own homes, in our own beds, that science now links to how our brains age. And it is within our power to improve. I also want to say this clearly because I know some of you are worriers. If you had a bad night last night, your brain did not suddenly age a year. These studies looked at long-term patterns over many years, not single nights. One rough night means nothing. What matters is the trend, and trends can be changed at any age. The habits I shared today are not dramatic. They are small, boring, repeatable actions. But that is exactly how real health is built after 60. Not in grand gestures, but in quiet daily choices. And one more important thing: if you snore heavily, if you regularly gasp or choke in your sleep, if your daytime sleepiness is severe, or if your sleep problems are seriously affecting your life, please speak to your own doctor. This video is here to inform and encourage you, never to replace a proper conversation with a professional who knows your history. So let us bring it all together. Poor sleep after 60 is not just an annoyance. Research now shows that people who sleep poorly are more likely than others to have brains that appear older than they actually are. But sleep is changeable, and that means this story can have a different ending for you. Start with morning light. Protect your evenings. Keep the bedroom cool and dark. Move during the day. And stop fighting the clock at night. Now, I would genuinely love to hear from you because this community is full of wisdom. Here are my questions for you today. First, what time do you usually go to bed? And what time do you wake up? Second, what is the one thing that disturbs your sleep the most? Is it your mind racing, needing the bathroom, aches and pains, or something else entirely? And third, do you have a personal sleep trick that works for you? Something you would recommend to others your age? Share it in the comments below, because your answer might be exactly what another viewer needs to read tonight. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend or a family member over 60 who never seems to sleep well, and subscribe to Healthy Aging so you never miss our weekly videos on living stronger, sharper, and more independent after 60. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Sleep well tonight, and I will see you in the next video.